at how Dante is being used in higher education. And I've got this awesome diagram Brian on our team made. It's a really cool diagram that shows Dante on our local area network. We've got a Dante camera, and the camera is being used in like a training scenario session. It's connected to a network, and we have a DSP. I told you guys about that earlier, the Dante-enabled DSP processor. And what that does is it'll take multiple microphones and really make sure that they sound good and process the audio from the microphones. We've also, and Mike, I don't know if you want to show this diagram as I explain it, but we've got a Dante-enabled amplifier as well. So we've got our amplifier here and speakers. So what this does, and one of the reasons why DSPs are so important is because when you have microphones in the same room as speakers, there can be all kinds of problems.
Sure.
So the DSP will digitally, make sure that there's no echo and all kinds of echo processing and noise cancellation and things like that. So the DSP this is probably like a training space in a educational organization. There's 4 Dante devices here. You've got your Link 4K, you've got your digital audio processor, you've got your Dante amplifier, and we're even showing a Dante decoder, which is taking the Dante video and turning it into HDMI for a monitor. And then you see we've got the Dante controller management software on the network for the AV manager to manage. So this is a pretty common setup in a lot of conferencing spaces. Now we'll talk about a little bit more of a complicated higher education classroom example. And this is more common than you think. I know it looks complicated, but I don't know, you're familiar with a lectern?
No.
So a lectern, and it is kind of a weird word. It's not as normal as you think. It also could be called a podium.
Oh, I know what that is.
Uh-huh.
You know what the podium is, right? So yeah, lectern and podium are somewhat interchangeable. I think lecterns are a little bigger. Like a podium could be just like a thin little podium that you stand at, and you've got a little microphone. Whereas a lectern's bigger and wider, and you can fit equipment into it. And in this scenario, there's a lectern with a computer in there. And there's a document camera connected to the computer. And a lot of teachers like to display things on a document camera and then have it up on a big projector behind them. So that's what's happening there. And the teacher has a control panel that they can click buttons to change things. And then there is a Dante AV transmitter. And what that does is it will take the video and audio from the computer and make it available over the network. Now, why is that important? Well, now we've got our Dante camera. We've got our projector, which is receiving the video over the Dante AV transmitter, receiving it into the projector, and therefore you can switch between the camera and the document camera and the PTZ camera, and maybe even the presentations that are on that computer, and bring them up on the projector quite easily. We've also got 2 monitors in the rear of the hall, and that's becoming more popular in more modernized educational areas where there's like multiple monitors showing what the teacher's talking about in that scenario. And then we have a server room with a Dante-enabled digital signal processor again, probably because there's a Dante-enabled microphone there, and the audio is being recorded into a learning management system. So it looks kind of complicated. Again, it kind of is. There's no way to say that is simple. Simple to me would be like a USB camera to and a USB microphone and like a computer.
You can't quite call that simple. That's okay.
It is complicated, but it's robust, and it provides a really robust experience for educational environment.